let's speak to someone who is well versed within the cocoa sector and the issues raised by the finance minister. Let's talk to Francis Teinor, who is a cocoa farmer. Listen to the press conference from the finance minister and what he makes of these announcements as announced by the finance minister. Francis, thank you very much for your time. I'm sure you listened to the finance minister. Are you impressed with the sweeping reforms that he announced?
Yeah, good afternoon, my brother. Partially, I had information about whatever the finance minister addressed the public. Although I didn't get everything, but I was told the cocoa price has been slashed down from 3,650 cedis to 2,587 cedis. That's a difference of about 1,000 plus cedis. This is very unfortunate because nobody will encourage reduction in price. But looking at the current situation that we find ourselves, both farmers and all the value people on the value chain understands that the price on the world market has dropped significantly. That COCOBOD need to even borrow.
Hello, Francis. Hello, Francis. I'm afraid we do not have Francis. A few technical challenges, but we'll try and raise Francis back on Zoom to continue his submission. Basically, giving a reaction to the press conference the finance minister addressed just a while ago on some reforms within the cocoa sector, which he believes or government believes will help streamline activities at the COCOBOD and address the recent challenges that has come up as far as the payment of arrears of cocoa farmers is concerned. The long-term solution to address the many challenges which COCOBOD has gone through since the administration of this government. I'm told Francis is back on. Francis, you're making a submission before that technical challenge.
Yes. So I started from as the challenge began, when the price started dropping from the world market. We were all aware that's where we are going. There is nothing COCOBOD can do or government can do than to slash down the price to be able to sustain the area. Because looking at even the debt that is accumulating, we ask ourselves, where will government get money to be able to pay these debts? Because the price on the world market currently is around 3,800, 4,000. When you convert it into the current exchange rate, it means one bag is going around 2,500, 2,600. So if government have to buy the cocoa or COCOBOD has to buy the cocoa from for 3,600, then we continue to ask ourselves that where is government getting the difference to top it up? That alone should tell everybody that if you are going to that tangent, it means that the sector is not sustainable. So definitely government has to slash the price down to be able to reorganize ourselves, control the supply on the world market, because per the statistics, it's demand and supply that control prices. And because the way the price is dropping on the world market, what government has to do is that we need to collaborate with the Ivory Coast counterpart to be able to control supply on the world market so that price will appreciate. So that in the long run, when price appreciates, cocoa farmers also get the rare price. We started calling for this. When the price went up to 12,000, we were telling COCOBOD that if you don't do something about this, if you don't pay the farmers the rare price, when the price declined and you want to reduce it, we won't accept it. Because when the price went up to 12,000, one bag of cocoa was more than 10,000. That farmers were expecting something more than 5,000 or around 5,000 per bag. But the government didn't listen to us. Continue to buy the cocoa in 3,000. Now you see the situation we find ourselves. But it's very unfortunate, but we need to welcome it, because other than that, the sector will not be sustainable. There was a time some of my farmers call me and tell me, Francis, if the price will be reduced for us to be paid, it's better than to be selling at where we all know that it's not sustainable. And even if you are not careful, it will be difficult for us to get our money. Because as from January, schools have reopened. Farmers want us to go to school and they need money. They send their cocoa to LBCs and nobody is having money to pay. We have been crediting cocoa for about 2 months now. How do we survive? So I think This is the right way, and we are all welcoming it, not because we are happy, but because we want to be paid. And also, if you look at the other measures that finance minister tried to put across, that they are not going for syndication, but they will go for bonds, means that every year there will be money. We will not short money. In case that system works perfectly, it means that when you go for the bonds, it can be 10 years bond. So every year there will be money sitting down. What we are praying is that we'll get good managers, that when the money comes to hit into the accounts, they will not use it for things that is not in the value chain. Because we have seen several years that COCOBOD has gone for loans. And after they go for loans, things that they write in the proposal that they want to use the loan for ends up for a different thing. There was the money that the loan that they took for cocoa rehabilitation. You ask yourself, go to the field and check the number of funds that they have rehabilitated, and there's no money. There's money that they took, that they will supply money to off-takers, that as we are talking now, they have not supplied those volumes to them. That is a cost on COCOBOD. So we are begging them that any bonds that they will go in the name of cocoa should strictly be used for cocoa and nothing else. They shouldn't use cocoa money that they will go for bonds for those chargeable lamps. Sometimes you look at how they spend cocoa money, then they will tell you they bought chargeable lamps. Then the chargeable lamps, whom did they give those chargeable lamps to? And who even asked them to buy chargeable lamps for cocoa farmers? You go to the various cocoa stations, and you have the overhead costs, the number of staff that they have accumulated in those offices, that they are not contributing anything to the value chain. So through the drastic measure, they should reduce the overhead costs. Staff that they have employed, that they are not adding anything to the value chain, should be taken off to any place at all that they think it will worth it. Because most of these extension officers that they are overstaffed in the whole cocoa stations in Ghana is not helping. All those things are bringing costs.
Francis, how
farmers supposed to get, we are not getting.
How soon do you expect the payments, to get to your members? How soon do you expect?
For us, we are even expecting the money today. But looking at what the finance minister is saying, that they will start tomorrow. And we all know that bank transaction will take some days for it to be reflected. And you see, sometimes when they pay money to these our LDCs, as I'm speaking, most of the LDCs are owing their bankers. So even this money that they are going to pay, I don't know how fast it will be. And I don't know whether they are going to pay all at once. Because if you pay part, if finance minister pay part of the money, then they should have in mind that those monies will not reach the farmers. Simply because the LDCs went for loans to buy some of the cocoa. So when they pay, their payment dates are due. Some of them have to pay their bankers in January. So if you give them part payment, it means that the money will drop into those accounts and the bankers will take their money. So they have to pay it in full and even add some to it for them to be able to buy the current one that we are producing. Other than that, you have in mind that some monies have been paid, but farmers will still continue to complain. And what we are saying, that for the decline, it's not that we are happy accepting the price, but what we are saying is that when the price also appreciates, they should ensure that they will increase it proportional so that the farmer will also enjoy his sweat. Because as I'm speaking, if you look at the cost of production in cocoa, all these mathematics, I think we need to sit down and work things out, because cost of production of one bag is around 4,000. So when we sell our cocoa around 2,500 today, it means the farmer is running at losses. So if I'm running at losses, for the COCOBOD to be able to sustain the sector so that we all benefit, and tomorrow the price appreciates to 12,000 and you continue to give us 3,000, then that one, we won't accept it. And if you are not careful, the demonstration that we try to do that because of these drastic measures that government has taken, even just calling for a cabinet meeting tells us a lot that government also has the farmer at heart. And we are appealing to all our farmers that it's not a good news, but for us to be able to sustain the sector, we should all accept it so that going forward, we cooperate with government as they bring in measures that going forward, they will go for bonds which we all understand that when they go for bonds, the money will be sitting down yearly. So every time there will be money, we will not short money. So if that is what we have foreseen, and it's happening that doesn't happen, then I think farmers will not be happy at all.
Okay, Francis, thank you. Thank you very much for your time. Francis Teinor is a cocoa farmer. He's the president of the Mankrong Cooperative Cocoa Farmers Association, reacting to the press conference addressed a while ago by the Minister of Finance, Dr. Cassiel Ato Forson. Fred, looks like the cocoa farmers are a bit satisfied or relieved with this announcement. Looks like, from what Francis is saying.
Yeah, from what Francis is saying, is that they don't have a choice. They think that the reduction in the prices of cocoa, even though they would have wished for it to remain the same or go up, in the current circumstances we find ourselves, it is the best because they want their money and they are pleading with government to ensure that these monies are paid immediately as promised. They also accept the new financing structure where there will be a bond which will be issued to ensure that there's always money to get the money for the purchase of cocoa. So generally, I think that Francis, who leads a group of cocoa farmers, is satisfied somehow and somewhat with the reforms, even though they still have some concerns. But generally, I think that listening to Francis, they seem to be satisfied with some of these reforms.